I was 19 when the war started, but on my 20th birthday, they was drafting you. Day after Thanksgiving in 1942, I left home, and Friday, left out of Lodi. Monday morning, we packed our gear up, and they put us on a train. We didn't know where we was going, and that train was heading west. And 4 days later, we ended up out on the west coast. We was on that train all that time, and we started training. They put us back on a train again, and we went this way again. Went right through Medina County, through Lodi, and they locked all the doors and windows so nobody gets off this train. We ended up in New York, and it was in the middle of the night. It was dark, but everything was secret back in them days. And we got off the train, and we thought we was on the platform here. We was on this ferry boat, and of course everything was blacked out in the city. Everything was dark, and we bumped up against this troop ship. We didn't know what it was, but there was a door opened up. We had our packs on our back and our rifles, and there was a Red Cross lady there handing out a little bag with stuff in it, and somebody else. I went in that door, and we knew we was on the ship then, you know. That's when we got loaded up. We had air cover so far out from the coast, but they can only go out so far. Then we was on our own. That's when the U-boats got after us. 2 ships went down. But we were never told whether they was transport ships or what. But we knew they was there. And out on the deck, on each side of the ship, there was depth charges in these cradles. I don't know how many on each side, but they were dropping those things. Like I say, as far as we knew, Eisenhower was still down in North Africa. But he come to England. That's why we was sent down there, where his headquarters were going to be. And I remember there was a whole lot of commotion out on this highway, and me and my 3 buddies, we was standing there, look, and somebody behind us hollered, "Attention!" So man, we froze. We heard somebody else say, "Fellas, be at ease." And we turned around with General Eisenhower. He walked up, me and my 3 buddies, and he walked up to me. What's your name, son? I told him, Private First Class Glen Crum. He said, "Where you hail from, Glen?" I said, "A little town of Medina, Ohio, about 30 miles south of Cleveland." He said, "Well, I guess I know where that's at." He said, "Glen, you married?" I said, "No, but I will be as soon as I get home." He said, "I got that special girl waiting on me." And he asked a few more questions. He thanked us all for being over there, taking care of business. And well, there was four beachheads there, and there was on the lower end there was the Canadians and the British, and the Americans had 2 beachheads. When we went over there, we was over on the far side, LST landing craft, and in fact, LST landing craft was a pretty big vessel. It was stub-nosed in the front and in the back. In fact, we were loaded in trucks, and we stayed in them trucks. But we was in it all night. The next morning, but the ramp come down, and we just come out of there in them trucks. Everything was dirty gray, and we got off of there in pretty good shape. And we stayed there all day. We was all ready to go. And the truck we were supposed to ride on was filled up. So there was a open truck, had all kinds of boxes in it. So we throwed our gear in there, and that convoy took off. And the further we went, the colder it got, snow. So we was told to go up in the back and dig in. And for some reason, somebody started a rumor that there was some hot coffee or something in this. So me and two of my buddies went down there and we opened that door, and there was a GI. He had one of those burners out of one of those tanks, was heating a can for hot coffee. When that first shell come in, we forgot about the coffee. We back out that door, and I seen some of my buddies running this way, and we running back there till things quieted down. We went back down there, but that guy sitting in that bucket, I often wondered who he was. Did he have a wife? But that building took a direct hit. I don't mind missing that cup of coffee. Things like that you'll never forget. When that troop ship come back in to New York, and it was still dark, and we was all up looking to see the first lights of New York, still dark, but they slowed that ship up so we'd be sure and come back to the Statue of Liberty. That was our pinup girl. It was going out, we didn't see it because it was blacked out. I can't explain it. That was, because all the time we was over there, that was our pinup girl. We wanted to, Betty Grable's picture was plastered everywhere. What we wanted to see was the Statue of Liberty. That was our, but we went right past her, man. Then the fireboat come out. I'll never forget, the night I got back in Medina, wee hours in the morning. But man, the first thing I did is stop uptown and called her house. And I walked down, my folks lived down there. And I stepped up on my mother and dad, and it was a long porch. And I stepped up on that porch and I stopped dead still. And I thought 3 years ago I stood in this spot going the other way, and the whole thing caught up with me, the whole thing. I must have been crying. My mother looking out the window, she was crying. A pretty emotional thing. 3 years. I thought of all the guys that didn't make it. That was something. And my baby sister, Hazel, was in high school. And she come down and kept wanting to take my boots off. I said, no, because I knew when that car come down the road, I was going to be out there on the curb. And finally, I seen some car lights. I knew it had to be her dad. I hadn't seen her in 3 years, you know. Opened that door up, and I mean, she sprung up out of there. I mean, I had her. I did reach behind her and shake her dad's hand. And I had her. That was really something. America, greatest place in the world. Greatest place in the world. Because I met a lot of people over there that wish they was here or could come here. Everybody I met over there, this was a land of milk and honey.